Good. Call to roll for Town Cape.
Newman
Cape
present.
Charles. All right, sorry.
Holloway, present.
Utah present.
Grossman present.
Ashworth present.
All right, Buckles present. We've established quorum. Stand up and have a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Vice Mayor Buckles, we've got
What's that?
just wanted to make sure we got
Yeah, I got it.
the sign. Yes, you can sign it,
This?
yes.
All right. Oh, that's what it's pulled out.
Yes.
Well, this is actually more appropriate for me.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to have recognition of visitors, presentations, and recognitions. First of all, it's a proclamation in honoring the life of William Billy Powell, and I'm glad I get to do this instead of Adam. So let me go ahead and read this. So Town of Cape Charles Proclamation 2025-1120, honoring the life and service of William Billy Powell. Whereas the Town of Cape Charles mourns the passing of William Billy Powell, who departed this life on November 3rd, 2025, surrounded by his loving family. And whereas Billy was born and raised in Cape Charles, the beloved son of the late Robert Lee Powell and Marge Collins Powell, carried forward a family legacy grounded in the community and character and service. And whereas Billy devoted 33 years of his dedicated service to the Town of Cape Charles and the Public Utilities Department, contributing tirelessly to the well-being and operation and spirit of the community. And whereas William honorably served with the Cape Charles Volunteer Fire Department, Fire Company, sorry guys, didn't mean to do that one, stepped on that one, for 43 years, demonstrating unwavering loyalty, courage, and compassion as a volunteer firefighter, and earning the respect and gratitude of all those who served beside him. And whereas Billy's life was marked by kindness, humility, and steadfast devotion to the people of Cape Charles, his legacy will continue to inspire the current and future generations of public servants and community members. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Town Council of Cape Charles, the Town of Cape Charles, Virginia, hereby recognizes the Honorable William Billy Powell and his exceptional service to his commitment to the community and lasting impact he made to the town of Cape Charles. Be it further proclaimed that our community extended its deepest sympathy to his family and loved ones, that in his memory shall be preserved with gratitude, respect for years to come.
Do you need a motion to accept or anything? No.
No.
Who's going to receive the proclamation? God bless.
Thank you all.
God bless.
All right. Cape Charles Volunteer Fire Company, Ryan Leak, Treasurer.
So it's been a while since I've given an update, so just this is more of an informational session than anything, where we are current, where we are going future, and some future needs for the department. So the first couple slides. I think everybody here knows the history of the department. We actually recently just found the article from 1889 when we were established. So we finally found that in
that's
a
awesome.
newspaper. So 1889 is when we were first established as a fire company. We were incorporated in 1921, but we've been around since more or less founding of the town. Always volunteer and hope to continue that legacy moving forward. We are a mutual aid fire department, which means we cover a certain area, but if we get certain types of call, like a fire call, they do alert other stations. Sheridan and Eastville are our mutual aid stations that get alerted in. As the type of situations increase for resources, they continue to alert all the way up to the shore. So that's just high level of how the fire department and fire coverage works on the shore.
So for Sheraton and Eastville, you automatically go?
Yeah, so it's like a fire alarm activation, generally it's a one alert unless it's commercial. Beyond that, if it's reported as a fire, they alert 2 to 3 stations, commercial fire, 4 stations, and a
Okay.
ladder, and so forth. So it just depends on the type of call and how that progresses. Car accidents are always 2, so that would be Sheridan and ours in our first 2 district. So our coverage district, primary coverage is the town of Cape Charles, which is 3.5 square miles. And then from Cape Charles all the way to the first portal on the bridge, so the first tunnel, we cover all the way to that. So total coverage area is about 38 square miles, so fairly large coverage area that we're responsible for. And then we have a second due up to Bird's Nest, Machapongo area for fire calls as well. With that being said, we've been called all the way up into Accomack as well before for certain type of emergencies. Update from 2024, we had 270 calls. It was our busiest year ever. 46% of those were within the town of Cape Charles. So, a lot of people see us outside of town, but we have a lot in the town as well. To date for 2025, we're at 205, so we are down for the year, which is a great thing. That's what we want to see. So we will have those final numbers over the next couple months, and we'll get those out to you. Going into 2025, we had some pretty big capital expenses. You can go ahead to the next slide. The first one being we needed to replace our roof. We had multiple leaks throughout the building. The roof was over 25 years old. So we did end up having to replace that. There was also a lot of wood rot that we found under the wood decking that had to be replaced as well. So that has been done. So hopefully another 25 years in that new roof. Funding for that, Northampton County had excess funds of $40,000 last year, and that came from cigarette tax in the county of Northampton. So that money was allocated out to the different stations. And so we applied that. We did have a fundraising event. The DeLoreans were in, and we raised $25,000 for that event. And then we pulled out $17,000 out of our general fund to cover the remainder of that. The next one is in process. Going back to the excess funds from the county for this fiscal year, so that one was from the previous fiscal year. For this fiscal year, for the county, the extra funds were $25,000, so down from last year, but we graciously appreciate Northampton County pushing that along. And we decided to allocate that towards our new extrication tools, and kind of to explain, everybody's heard the jaws of life. That's what people think of extrication tools. The tools we have are 25 plus years old. They still work. They're still certified every year. But our tools were tethered. They're hydraulically operated, so we have to have it either tethered to the truck, or we have a portable unit that we can carry out into the field and hook it up out in the field. The challenges with that is it does delay response. We have to either position the truck close enough to the accident, which obviously can be very challenging, or we're taking the time to take the portable unit off, hook it up, crank up the gas engine. And so the new tools are to be battery operated, so we pick them off the truck and run. There's nothing tethered to the truck. We have multiple spare batteries on the truck, and these are actually more powerful than the hydraulic systems we have. These newer cars coming out, especially the electrics, they have a lot of additional support that some of our stuff is challenged to cut through. The new stuff will cut right through it. So $25,000 came from Northampton, and then $29,000 came out of our general funds to purchase that. So this is a phased approach. This is just the first set. We will always want to have 2 sets of everything on the truck for that type of equipment. So it'll supplement our hydraulic. This will be our first response with the battery operated. The hydraulic is the backup for now. eventually down the road, as we can find more funds or grants, we will start replacing everything with battery. And the last kind of capital expense for this year is going to be drainage in the back of the station. So we've always had drainage issues in the back of the station, but it's gotten progressively worse where in heavy rains, it backs up into the back of the building. We get several feet of water behind the building. It's now started flooding up under the foundation into the building. So we're working on getting a French drain system put in with a sump basin that will pump that out of that area to protect the integrity of the building is what we're worried about, is that structure and those footings in the back of the building.
Didn't you just rework that though over the past year or two?
So
Piping there?
that was the sewer piping. That's the sewer piping for our building.
Okay.
That's not the actual drainage. So the original clay pipes under the building collapsed, and so unfortunately no one could fix that or else come out the back of the building. So part of this is we're to put in the French drain system and backfill some dirt to cover all that up and beautify, hopefully a little bit back there for you, Paul.
Not me, my neighbor.
So that is in process. We will get that in place, and then that should hopefully address those issues that we're having back there. So the next slide, this is more informational for now, and I emphasize for now. What an SCBA is the air packs that we use to breathe. So a lot of people think, oh, we just use those as fires. Anytime we have a car accident with any type of fire, any hazardous material situations, those go on. So there's a lot out in the world today that we can't see that can really hurt us, especially through breathing. And so it's an integral part of everything we do in fire. It's not just fire, it's car accidents, it's hazardous material situations. So where we're at with these currently is they're 18 years old. NFPA, which is the governing body that gives guidelines for this type of equipment in the US, recommends they were replaced at 15 years. So we're at year 18. Where we're at today is they have released the 2025 NFPA standard, which makes this obsolete. So we have been given a deadline of, I think it's going to be around May of 27, that if these are not replaced, they will be out of certification, which means we can't go in fires anymore if these aren't replaced by then. So where we're at with that is there are FEMA grants to replace these, and that's we're going after that now aggressively. We've hired a professional grant writer that specifically goes for fire type grants, so they know what they're doing. There's about an 80 to 85% success rate with our type of aged equipment for that grant. So we have a very good position going into that.
How much are they like per set?
So you're about 12,000 per set. So you're looking, we have 15 sets on the trucks. You have accessories and bottles, and there's other things as well. Now, I've heard a couple comments when I've talked to some other people about this that, well, we just got these 3 years ago. We got new bottles 3 years ago through a grant, and that was through a county-town shared grant. Only the bottles were replaced, not the air packs. So we're working on that, so we have 2 chances to get that grant. We have the 25 cycle, which is due next month, so we'll be working through this month to get that grant submitted. And then next year, if we're not successful this year, we have one more chance to get that. I guess the wild card is with some of the funding for FEMA kind of going around, we don't know where it's going to land right now. This year, we have a good chance. It's funded, it's going to happen. Next year, we don't know if it'll be a FEMA or if they're going to push it off to some other agency. We can't see that going away. It's too important to the U.S. For something like this to go away.
Is it 100% grant?
It's 100% grant. Yeah, it's 100% grant. So the good thing is we have a pretty high success rate of getting this. If history dictates where we're at today, but we'll have to see. Why I want to get this the attention of the town, and also as our new county administrator comes in, start working with them. If we can't get this in the next 2 years, we've got a pretty big uphill battle. $200,000 for us
It's a lot.
that's a lot of money. That's 2 years operating expense for us. So I just want to kind of get on everybody's radar. Hey, we're trying our best to fund this. We're looking for other avenues to get this done. But if we don't get this in the next 2 years, we've got some other conversations that may need to happen with town and the county for funding for these. We are engaging DeSeth and Keegan's office there to write support letters. Of course, the county and town will as well. So we'll have all those support letters as well. So it's just a hopefully try and see what happens at this point. So any questions on any of
The
that?
other stations on Eastern Shore are going after the same because of
So
age or?
I know Eastville is in a similar situation. They're in the same revision. So when you hear me say 2025 NFPA standard, that's a revision of that pact.
Yeah.
That there's certain standards that it has to meet to hit that. They only release them every 7 to 10 years. So ours are 2007 standard. There's a 2017 or 18, and now they've released the 2025. Ours are 2007, so we're a couple revisions behind those standard. Now, they still meet the criteria as of today, but we'll be given a grace period of 2 years to continue to certify them. After that, they can no longer be certified.
Sounds like the building code.
So it's just more, like I said, this is not an ask for money. It's just, hey, I want to get this on your guys' radar that if we get to this point in 2 years, we may have some different conversations. Tanker 15.8. So we have decided to sell that tanker. Couple reasons. First one being the pump on that tanker is a 1979 pump. We are struggling to find parts for it now. It's obsolete at this point. And then also we have very select few members that can drive that truck. It's a 5,000 gallon tractor drawn 10-speed manual.
Oh, God.
And it's 5,000 gallons. It is the most dangerous apparatus we have to drive because when you're driving with water, it shifts. You've got to be very careful what you're doing. So our chief is very cautious of who drives it and why, and we all support him with that. And so we've decided to move on getting that sold, and so we'll start looking for a used tanker that's a straight axle automatic.
Is that compartmentalized, the new tankers?
We need compartmentalized.
In other words, so the tanks are connected, but
They're all baffled.
That's what I
Even
mean.
this truck has baffles in it, but if you drop your water level down and you're driving.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, you know.
I did that in the military with
Yeah.
a 15-ton.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
baffled in the tank, so yeah, there's measures in there to help, but you know, if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course.
What do you think you can get for the used one?
We've listed it for 75, and so it's kind of a wait and see. Once we get that sold, then we can start having those discussions of what we're looking at for a used tanker. You know, I've heard comments from people, oh, we don't use those in town. We do use tankers in town. Just to clarify that, primarily, yes, out in the county, but there are areas in town, like the concrete factory, there's no hydrants. And our lines are not long enough to pull off the hydrant all the way into the plant. So if we have to fight in there, there's hydrants, there's no hydrants.
Sounds like a good sponsor for this tank.
I know, right? I agree.
Absolutely.
And then there are areas in Bay Creek that have no, like so the Nature Preserve Golf Course, there's no hydrants available. And then there are certain times in summer, and I can get the data behind this, that there's a certain minimum that we're supposed to have of water reserves in the tank and pressure and flow throughout the town. There are places at the very end of Bay Creek, Heron Point, Plantation Point, and Murfield that we would have to have supplemental water if we had a big fire. The hydrants aren't going to be enough. So they are supplemental to our water source that we do have in there. So just a FYI on that, like I said, not asking for money. Just want to make that clear. It's just, this is informational on some things that we're doing going forward.
Big picture, looking forward.
The compressor that fills these tanks is 20 years old. It has failed twice this year. So it is repairable, but parts are becoming obsolete on that as well. So we are starting to look for funding for that. Once again, that's a grant thing that we're looking for. The good thing with that is Eastville and Sheridan use the same tanks. So if ours were to go down, we do have some recourse to go to another station and get them filled until we have a replacement put in or ours repaired. But when we're getting back at 2 in the morning from fire, that's, you know, going to Sheridan or Eastville is not ideal. So we're looking for grants and funding to replace that. That is, once again, this is not it has to happen today. It's our priority list and what we're looking at next. And then the last one is a want, it's not a need. The front of the station has not been updated since the 90s. So we are looking for ways to fund that through grants as well. It's hard when I need to replace these, or I need to buy extrication tools, put a coat of paint in the building. So this is at the very bottom of the priority list, but it's one of the ones that we'd like to see done eventually. But once again, that's on the bottom of the list.
Yeah, but at least you brought out the finest fire truck you have.
You know, it's tough now.
There we go.
And then I'm gonna touch a little bit on golf cart safety.
Please.
So we all love golf carts. I love golf carts. My daughter loves riding in the golf cart. We love going on rides every afternoon. Just some statistics and some things that we have seen as first responders that concern us. And I know the town is moving forward, it looks like, with some seatbelt regulations for golf carts. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. So every year there's 20,000 plus ER visits every year from golf cart accidents. And that is growing exponentially, but so are golf cart use on streets. Demographics are generally 31% children, 62% adults, and 7% seniors. Ejections and fractures are your serious orthopedic injuries and the causes. And kind of a sobering fact, accidents on public roads are typically 40% more severe than on golf carts. So we're introducing cars into the mix. It's not just a golf cart flipping over or hitting a tree or going into a pond. You have full-size cars that are also interacting with golf carts in our streets. And we all like to have fun in golf carts. Everybody comes down on vacation, but sometimes they don't think. They just blow through a stop sign or not thinking or just having fun. That's what they come here to do. But sometimes that results in not good outcomes. Last year, there was an estimated 600 fatalities in golf cart accidents, and 50% of those are children under the age of 12. That's the sobering statistic. If we could do things to help prevent that in this town, I don't want to be someone's worst day with their child on the road. I don't know if I could return as a first responder if that happens. So some of the ways that we can reduce those injuries is requiring one seatbelt per occupant. So if there's 4 seats in a golf cart, everybody has a seatbelt. We see a lot of times in the summer, you'll have 3-4 in the front, you'll have 3-4 in the back in place of 2 seats. The things that scares me personally is you'll have someone sitting with a 6-month-old
Yes.
on the rear facing golf cart.
Yep.
All it takes is a 2-foot fall for severe brain injury of a child. So if we could put regulations in to say, hey, let's educate our visitors and our residents alike. If you take these measures, this is going to help prevent, or not prevent, it can still happen, reduce the risk of incident and injury to these kids, adults alike. So you can have a fun holiday and go home with no injury. Prohibit infants and young children riding on laps. That goes back to, I don't know what that regulation is. I don't have the answer to that. I don't pretend to have the answer to that. My daughter's in a car seat. She's 3.5. She will be in a car seat till she's 6 or 7. They have them. It took me 5 minutes to install my golf cart. Is it a hassle and an inconvenience? Yeah, absolutely. But if it saves somebody from getting hurt, what's the trade-off there?
Same thing you gotta do in your car.
Yeah, it is. It's the same thing you do in a car. And the biggest thing is restricting the occupancy to the numbers of manufactured installed seats. So if a golf cart is a 4, 6, or 8 seat golf cart, you have 4, 6, or 8 people in it. I'm not trying to take people's fun away. I love my golf cart. My daughter loves it. My visitors that come to see us love it. It's the mode of transportation when people come down. But if we can't fit everybody in a golf cart, somebody rides in a car, or we go rent one for the day and have an extra golf cart.
Or you make 2 trips.
Or you make 2 trips. Yeah.
It's not like
So,
we're in a place.
I don't want to go down the politics road on this. It's just from a first responder's perspective. If we can do something as simple as say, hey, you've got to have a seatbelt, and that prevents something, I think it's worth us really getting behind that for the town.
Isn't that a regulation already?
It is a regulation. I don't know how it's being enforced though. So that's, like I said, once again, I'm not getting into that. I'm just, things that we've seen. We have had rollovers in golf carts. We have had air flight called in for golf carts. We just don't publicize that. There's a lot that goes on that the public doesn't see because we don't want to advertise somebody's worst day. We're just not going to.
So, to answer your question, Jimmy just got 2 months ago, when we went through the whole thing, to make sure the Commonwealth attorney, that he can enforce golf cart regulations as a motorized vehicle. So they have to follow the same rules and regs as a car does.
So then that means we do have to have car seats,
No,
correct?
that's what I was gonna ask you. It's not.
Mm-mm.
The car
No, no,
seat
no.
that you have,
Mhm.
is it made specifically for a golf cart, or do you have shoulder straps in your golf cart?
No, and that's the thing is that I don't have the answer to that. I found a solution that is attached into the frame, so I know it's attached. But a seatbelt per person. What iteration of that is, I don't know, but a 6-month or a year-old can't sit in a golf cart with a seatbelt. So what is that solution? That's
Yeah, because we
hands
did
off.
look into that, and the manufacturers of the car seats will
Same.
not guarantee it in a golf cart.
No, and they won't. And that's the problem, is it's a catch-22. You have to have a seatbelt, you have to have your child in a approved, up to what, year 8, I believe, it is, 20 pounds. But then there's not a solution for that. So I'm hands-off on that. I'm just,
Yeah,
presenting the data that I have.
because we did look into it
Yeah.
for it when we were talking about it, and that's when they said, we looked through all the restrictions and everything else, and they said they would not, if something were to happen, God
They're not-
forbid,
yeah,
in
they're-
the car seat,
Yep.
it's even a bigger problem,
Yeah.
so.
And there's 0 videos on Google or YouTube or.
Yeah, it's a
Zero.
catch-22. We put this out there, we've opened that door, we're not closing that door, obviously, at this point. But what can we do to ensure we don't have that 6-month-old on the back of the car seat like this? And we see it, and it's time, and Rick and I were talking, Rick saw when he first came to town, it's time and time again we're seeing that, and it's like, it just takes one bump for that child to fall off.
And also the big thing is making sure they have the license, because that's the other big thing. Is seeing the, 8, 9, 10-year-old, 12-year-olds, whatever, riding around, just like you said, that's where most of the accidents are coming from.
But like I said, I'm not getting into the weeds of how it's enforced or
Right.
what that looks like, but I just encourage them to really look into what the options are to make sure everybody's safe, residents and visitors alike.
Do you have statistics specific to Cape Charles?
I can pull those, I don't have them offhand. I would say we have 3 to 4 calls a year for golf carts. We've been lucky that they haven't been serious. We have had serious in the past. But yeah, I can pull those
And
statistics for you,
it's
Terry.
compelling, and certainly I think something important
Sure.
to share. I agree, don't advertise someone's worst day,
Yep.
but getting down into that sort of detail to make this
Sure.
compelling for people to say,
And we could combine it with statistics from the police department, because they report that in the weekly. Combine
and-
those together, we should give us the picture
Yeah,
of
and
some
we can work on
information.
that, Tara, absolutely, and Tammy, and we are included now in the
Yes.
bi-weekly report. So, Rick did ask when he came on board that we start reporting, so we're including in-town, out-of-town calls, and then also what those calls are, high level, very high level.
Yes.
Basically, it's the CAT, we get a text that tells us what the call is, we're just taking the description and copying it in, so it's very high level.
Have you ever had any incidents, I know there are national statistics, but yet locally with electric bike or scooter related injuries?
They worry me.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
They are
Yeah,
starting to increase, and I see one little fellow.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is.
Yes,
That thing will move.
it
Yeah.
will.
The kid.
He's
that
been using the bike path this
He
week.
is past you before you hear him.
oh
Yeah.
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 So you're talking about
Yeah, so far we haven't had much, with those in town.
In town,
We
yeah.
have had some scooter incidents on Stone Road and, the Cape Charles Light.
So you're talking about that kid that goes down Mason Avenue
Yes.
about 50 miles an hour?
Yes.
Yeah, that little thing will
Yeah.
move.
He started doing the bike trail this week. He's testing it out in advance.
But, we're here, if there's ever a work session you'd like us to be involved, if there's any further information you would like, I'd be glad to help do the research for the town, just from a first responders perspective. We're here to work with the town, and we'll be glad to do that in any way we can.
Ryan, is there a trifold that somebody puts out about golf cart safety that we could say to the golf cart companies, hand this when they get one?
We don't, but I'd be glad to work on that with the town
Yeah.
and come up with something that maybe we could work with Smitty and
Yeah.
Elizabeth to hand out, and then I know, I think a lot of that's gonna depend on where the town lands with enforcement of seatbelts and car seats and all that, because that would need to be
So
integrated into that.
part of the problem they have as they give the speech about what they're supposed to do,
And they just-
well, it's the person that rents it hears it, but
Yeah.
then he goes home and then secondary
Yeah.
people get on it,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
haven't heard it, and they just go do what they want.
And they
because
don't
then it
really,
gets regurgitated.
I mean, we have you must have your driver's license now as a sticker, but they don't have time to go through every single detail. The vacation homeowners have gotten really involved in helping communicate the message.
Sure.
I just made a note that I think we should form either a work session or something that we invite the chief of police and the fire department and and us and vacation homeowners, and put our heads together to come up with that trifold or whatever it needs to be, a one-pager.
Sure.
We talked at one time, and Libby, you can help my memory because I can't remember. We did something on a rack card, a partial, but I can't remember what that.
It just had our rules and regulations on it.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've got to start to something that we could probably work with.
Sure, and I would recommend also like Bay Creek HOA.
Yeah.
I don't want to single out, it's not just visitors, it's residents.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
gosh, yeah. No doubt.
You know, it's residents alike, so,
Yeah.
you know, how do we get that education out for the full-time people
Right.
out here and make sure they're educated on safe practices and
Sure.
and so forth?
Did we make that a requirement? The driver must be licensed sticker?
It's on the, it's on the.
On all
it-
the rentals.
all the rentals.
On all, it really should be on, it should be an inspection
Anyone.
item for every cart, I think, in town, because,
It's
Yeah.
already, it's happening.
really,
It's not gonna start till what, March 8th?
Yeah,
beautiful.
yep.
Yeah,
March
the-
8th.
The locals are worse because they ride on the roofs.
What'd you
They
say?
used to, they ride on the roofs.
Who does?
Can I ask you one more
Local
question
factor.
before I let you go that's
Absolutely.
unrelated to that? Can you just tell me again, and I may be the only one here that doesn't already know this, but your responsibilities or the department's responsibilities for the bridge tunnel again are what?
We go to, so I call it the first portal, it's the first tunnel entrance.
Okay.
So we're responsible up to that point for any calls on the bridge.
Solely?
Us and Sheridan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like the chicken fire last
We
February?
got
that-
called out to that for a tanker.
Okay.
So we were actually, that was the next bridge down, or next tunnel bridge down. We did get called in for that because Virginia Beach couldn't get through the tunnel and we had to come back from this side to help that fire.
And do you get any financial support from the bridge tunnel at all, or no?
They generally give us a couple thousand a
Just-
year. Yeah.
okay.
donation, yeah.
So you're saying to the
North Shore.
the Chesapeake, whatever it's called, tunnel, the second one, our first one,
Yeah, from this side.
Yeah,
yes.
we do, it's, number 4 island, the Chesapeake Tunnel.
Chesapeake, that's what I thought it was
And
called,
the
yeah.
chicken truck was on Thimble Shoal, which was
Right.
the entrance of number 2 island.
I got
Sure,
you. Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and
interesting.
with that being said, if we got into a heavy technical rescue situation, we're not equipped for that type, we would call in Virginia Beach. And there's instances on the shore where if we get into a situation for technical rescue, or if we got a really big fire in town, there may be times that we have to pull over from Virginia Beach to help with resources. There are situations that may occur. Hazmat as well, is another type situation where we would call them in.
Thank you.
As a volunteer organization, how are you doing on staffing?
It's always a struggle, Paul.
Do you have vacancies or?
We do. We're always open to membership. If there's somebody that would like to join. And you don't necessarily have to go through certification. There's jobs that you can do, we call it exterior. Exterior firefighter where if they're 25 or older, they can get certified to drive a truck, run a pump. There's other duties that can happen in a fire ground that's not specific to going to interior of the building. So yeah, we're always open. You know, the challenge that we have in Cape Charles is a lot of our younger folks have moved out. It's, you know,
What's the age cap
as far as,
volunteering?
Age cap?
Yeah, is
there
there
is
a
a
cap?
cap as long as you're physically able.
Okay.
Do you join?
Yeah.
Jeb does it.
Who's asking? Jeff does it. I'll come keep Jake.
There's no, we start junior members at 14, so
Okay.
you can come out as a junior firefighter with parents' permission at 14. Upper age cap, you know, as you get into older, you know, there's other things that can happen. There's other administrative or helping with fundraisers, like our Toolmania fundraiser where we have 300 people. There's other ways to support.
Right, just put that out there since we
Yeah, buy
have.
tickets.
Yeah.
So we do have an aging community, so that's
Yeah.
why I asked that question.
Yeah, and that's the challenge. It's you know, as Cape Charles evolves into what it is today, more vacation oriented, we lose a lot of that younger workforce that don't live in town, and so that's generally where we pull from for volunteer firefighting, and that dynamic has changed. So, but you know, we're still here. We're healthy in membership right now, but we can always use more.
All right, good.
So.
Great job. You
Alright,
guys are doing a
thank
great
you.
job.
Thank you very much.
You don't have a big audience, Mary Ann.
It's the thousands on Facebook.
That's right.
Well, it's good because I can't talk anymore.
Oh, there you go. Lost your voice.
So you can hear me, and I don't cough out of here. I'm Mary Ann Ray, and I'm the director of Art Center in Whistler and Sprower Street in Whistler Avenue. And Chloe and I started talking with the Sail Fest committee just to sort of talk in June. And one of the things that came out of that discussion was the possibility of something we've done in the past, which is a plein air event. And I'm not sure, is everyone aware of what a plein air event is? Okay. So we did it several years ago. It was successful. I don't remember how many artists we had here, but we thought we would do it again, and the opportunity to supplement or support or be involved with SailFest just seemed like a good fit. So that's where the conversation started. And then Chloe and I met with Rick just to sort of flesh it out to see whether there was an opportunity for the town to be supported in a way other than our regular general operating money that comes to Art Center, the nonprofit that's been providing the arts and performances for 30 years. So we'd like to sort of thank you very much for that partnership and that support over the years, but also look at this one a little differently and hopefully not think that the support that you give us for general operating would tie into this. So the idea is that during the week of, during the weekend of the SailFest, that we would expect possibly 40 artists, mostly from out of state, some from here, people coming from all over to be in the plein air, basically depending on who the judge is, because it becomes very prestigious if you've got a judge who then chooses you to be the winner or second place. So prize money is important to the artists and who the judge is. And the plan is they come in and I had a conversation with Tara today. It isn't that the artists like descend on the location of SailFest necessarily. They are, they look at the charming town, they appreciate the charming town, they go to places wherever they think their imagination takes them, and produce whatever they would like to produce. So it isn't necessarily that it'll all be drawing pictures of the ships. They might be a house on Peach Street, they might be, you know, in a field somewhere, so it's just very eclectic what they might be doing. After that happens, they are painting for a certain number of hours, and then they have to return their work to, it's going to be the gallery or the theater, one or the other. And the work gets judged, and then there's a sale, which is open then to the public, to anybody that's here for SailFest or in town, to come and view the work and buy the work. So sometimes they buy the work right off the easels, but it would have to then come to the gallery and be presented. And so the way that you know, I was looking at this and I thought, oh, well, we gave an expense budget, but we didn't really talk about an income budget. So the income comes from the fees that the artists pay, which is fairly minimal. It's generally $35 or $40. And then most of the money in income would then come from the sale, a percentage of the sale of the pieces. So it would probably be the artist gets 60%, and then the plein air, we would get 40%. Help offset some of the expenses. And then there's a possibility of workshops if the judge is a teacher, which oftentimes they might be, or somebody who's here for the SailFest or the plein air is a teacher, then they might have a workshop or fees from the workshop. So basically, this is just sort of a beginning to see whether there's an opportunity for a partnership, a financial partnership. We haven't looked at the marketing grants for tourism yet. We just really haven't. It's just beginning to percolate. So I just wanted to offer the conversation and start from there.
Great.
Would the income offset these expenses though too, or your expenses? So
Well-
like the expenses that were listed seemed like there was the administrative one, I saw that. So would it be income directly into Art Center to offset any of your outside?
Well, I think that whatever comes in tries to pay for everything that goes out. I mean, we generally don't cover our expenses. That's why I'm thinking, we're thinking expenses, but income, we just sort of take what we can get. Because oftentimes, even these tribute bands, it looks like the place is packed, but the expenses behind that, we barely make money on those. And that's like the biggest thing we do. So it's, it's always a fine line between income and expense. So we like to get the expenses covered if we can. It's outside sponsors and outside fundraising to get that done. But support from wherever we can find it is very valuable.
So you mentioned sponsors, because when I looked up a couple examples around Wisconsin, North Carolina, what have you, there was a lot of sponsors associated with each. Have you approached anybody?
Well, this is very beginning of what we're doing. We hope to have sponsors, of course, and that would be, competition is hard in Cape Charles for money. But yes, we're always looking for a business sponsor or a personal sponsor who might say, I'd like to give you $3,000 for the plein air.
There's a new opportunity for sponsorship I'll just tell you about tonight.
Okay.
The Eastern Shore of Virginia Tourism Commission we set aside a fund this year from our overall budget to support events like this as a sponsor. And it's a very easy process to apply for. So I will send you that contact info to where you would send that request to do that. We've worked over the years to finally get both counties to give the same amount. For the longest time, Northampton County was giving more than Accomack, and Accomack is bigger. So they have promised, and they've held up their side of the bargain. So they're contributing equally. So we wanted to set aside some money that we could support events that are kind of one-off events like this.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be in touch with you about that. Thank you.
How much do the artists typically charge for their art?
It's completely up to them. If somebody, people value their art very differently. We get artists in the gallery and they'll say, oh, let's put it at 300. And we're going, that's nuts, put it at 600. Artists generally are extremely humble. Most of them are very humble and they don't think their art is worth what?
They're their own worst critics.
Pardon me?
They're their own worst critics.
Yes, absolutely.
Believe me, I know that.
You're married to one. So we find that we have that fight often, and artists will come in and definitely undervalue their work. And so we try to
Very much so.
get them to think about themselves as worth more in terms of their art.
So in your presentation here, you had $16,000 as a request. Is that cover all that would be required to pull this off, or?
It's kind of hard to know until you get into it. For example, if you put an ad in the Plein Air magazine, which you would want to do, those can be ridiculously expensive. So you're spending $2,000 for one ad in one magazine. But if you utilize social media and you're really smart about that, then your marketing dollars can be substantially reduced. So this is very ballpark. So it's really hard. It's hard to know until you really get into the meat of it. Whether you're doing printed brochures, whether you're doing really focusing more on social media. We're finding that sort of the print is sort of dialing back a little bit, and the Instagram and the social media is moving forward. And that can be expensive too if you've got the right targeted marketing, but it doesn't have to be as expensive as a plein air ad. But if you want the artists from the region, they're looking in the Plein Air magazine for the opportunities for the plein airs.
Would it last over the full weekend, or would it just be one day of painting?
I think we thought about one day of painting, but then there's a day when their work is available, and then there's a sale that day. Would be finished Saturday night. We thought we'd have the sale on Saturday night of that weekend, and then it could be that Sunday the gallery's still open and the paintings are still there. and they haven't taken them away yet. It depends on their personal schedule too, I guess, of what they're doing. But I don't see them painting more than a day or a day and a half. But these people are fast.
Yeah.
They did one, I had somebody do one, just showed up one day, I looked outside and there was an artist. They were just going to town and I was like amazed. It's
Yes.
incredible
Yeah.
talent. But I mean, she was out there for like 4 hours in the heat and I was like, I'm taking her walks, like I feel bad, do you need an umbrella? You know, yeah.
They do it
they're-
all, it's all outside.
It is.
They're not going back to the studio.
No, it's incredible.
If their subject matter is not necessarily related necessarily to SailFest,
Right.
why this week? Like, why not do this? I'm just, this is the first, I've never heard of this before, so I'll be very transparent. Why not do it another weekend when there's less happening? Like, why SailFest?
Because it just seemed like a great opportunity to, just another community event that would be popular and we'd have an audience and something else for people to enjoy that's an add-on to what's going on with SailFest.
Gotcha.
So it just seemed like it was a good opportunity.
Anybody else?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time.
All right. Sorry I'm late, everybody. It's been a long day. On to the, do we have any public comments this evening?
No.
Nothing to read?
And nothing was submitted prior to.
Wow. It's
I
first.
apologize for leaving, but I didn't.
No worries.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
We know you're going home to watch on Facebook,
Yeah.
really.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda. I get a motion to approve the minutes and.
Yeah, we have
financial-
something to
Oh,
add.
sorry.
So I wanted to ask, Mayor, if we can, if you want to, so when we put out the agenda for review, originally we were planning to have at least a discussion and maybe take action on the downtown restroom options, but I was waiting for documents, and when we released the agenda, I was still waiting. However, I have received the documents, and so I'm ready I have everything tonight. If you would allow that to be on the agenda, I'm ready to discuss it.
The only issue I have with that, and I didn't say it earlier, is we didn't get any chance to
Right.
review it.
Right.
And
Could-
that's difficult for us to come into it right now and
Could-
look at it. Hold on.
No, I'm waiting.
To make any kind of decision on anything without having a chance to actually review it.
I was going to
Just-
ask if it was
just
a
like-
no decision, if it was just sharing information, and then
Fine with
we
that.
look at the work session that's for December 4th and make it a special meeting.
Yeah, and I was.
That's just a
I was gonna
thought,
add-
Fine with
right?
that.
I
I'm fine
agree.
with that.
I'm
Yeah.
completely fine with information because I suspect you're going to ask for details for me to go back and discuss. Because I have one lease agreement and the other one is a intent. So, you may want to add some of those things. So I don't know if you'd be ready to make a decision tonight, but at least you could hear the information.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. As long as we can just hear the information without making any kind of decision on it, because I tend to like to review.
Well, and the
stuff
public
like that.
hasn't had a chance to see it
Correct,
either,
right.
so.
I agree, except I would really feel like we need to get
I know.
some
Yeah, but-
fire under.
Yes.
this
I agree.
issue,
I
because
agree.
I'm
gotta
disappointed
make
it
that it's
work.
not something for Festive Fridays.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, can we put in this, the temporary bathroom, where does that stand?
So Rick and I talked about that. I don't know how far you've gotten with it or who you've talked to, but we
Let's
talked
put it-
about
Let's
next
put it on
week.
the agenda, let's add
Let's
it.
put it on the agenda.
Can we put that on the agenda and I'll give an update on that too?
So
Yeah.
we're gonna resurrect D for information.
We need to take it to a vote or just put it back on?
No, that's,
Yeah.
Just add it.
that's a motion to the consent agenda to change D to informational.
Yeah.
Informational downtown restroom options.
Yeah, that's a motion for the consent agenda with that change.
Change, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's added back to the agenda. All right, no unfinished business. Do we still have to approve?
Yes.
Approve
Yes.
the minutes and everything?
You have to vote.
Okay.
That's all part of the consent agenda approval.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all in, as well as the financial report.
All right, good deal. So no unfinished business on the new business. Let's see here. The paid holiday, the additional day, January 2nd.
Yeah, so I wanted to just give council an update. We've had a lot of change this year. I came on, and I've been in a learning process, getting to know policies, procedures, projects, certain ways that we do things. And on top of that, we've had a lot of new staff hires. We've had a transition, moving into a new space. And I'm just blown away of how great our staff are during this process. They work so hard. And on top of that, immediately we're up and running to put out the tax bills and everything. And so watching them, come in when we said all hands on deck, we're going to work the entire weekend and we're not going to stop until we're finished. And we're going to be ready to serve the public immediately. And so, I've had people ask me in the community, what have you done for your staff? I mean, in fact, some of you have even asked me, what have you done? What are you going to do for your staff? Because you've asked a lot for them. And so I would say the first thing we did was we did a pancake breakfast just to have fun together, to say thank you. But I'm asking for something else. I'm asking, they worked the entire weekend, all day long, and many of us, including myself, did not leave until 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night because we were still waiting on the truck to come back. So after thinking through it, I talked to Jody, our HR director, and it was like, what can we do? What can we do our staff to say something more than just a pat on the back, but significant? And she said, give them time. And she's like, I know what they want. Give them time. Give them something opportunity. So we talked about it, and she suggested every year when it comes to the holidays, a lot of staff leave already, and so we're on a tight crew, and especially during the holidays of New Year's. Why not give that day off? We're working a day we take Thursday off, and then Friday we have to come back in. It's already hard. Why don't we make that say a thank you because of what they've done, and we'll just add this to a holiday. So after thinking about it, I agreed. I was like, I like that. It's a great way to thank our staff for the hard work they've done, but then also it makes it easier. We shut down office because when we keep the office open, it's just difficult when we're trying to do all these things, and it makes the public frustrated. It's just easier if we just shut down. So that's what I'm asking.
So I'm going to propose something a little bit different. I'm going to propose the 26th and the 2nd because they're both Fridays over, you got Christmas vacation. You got your 24th, half day, or is it a full day or half day? 24th?
Half a day.
Half day, you're off 25th, come back for Friday. So if you want to give a little bit back to these guys, give them both the 26th and the 2nd.
And unique to this year.
And these guys have worked their butts off, and 2 days, especially when Friday and the 2nd.
I think you're already off.
You are?
I think
Yeah,
I think they get that as one of the dates.
Because you're Thursday, Friday
The
for Thanksgiving
24th
as
is,
well.
it's similar to Thanksgiving this year. We're closed at noon on the 24th, and we're closed on 25th and 26th.
26th a half day?
Jim's saying it's a half day?
No, the 24th is a half a day.
Well, then do
The
it.
26th is a full day.
Then take the 24th, do the 24th, 25th, and 26th. If 26th already, give them the other half day. I have no problem with that.
I concur wholeheartedly. Do the 24th, 25th, 26th.
Yeah, it's just an amendment to just add the extra half day on the 24th to this additional paid holiday. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
What's the 31st? Is that a half day?
I don't know.
No, we're open on the 31st.
Which I think is
We
fine.
just get one day off on New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Year's, if you're going out and you're staying up to midnight, you're pretty useless on Friday anyway, so you
Yeah.
might as well just go with it. I have no problem with that. I'm doing that with my guys, same thing.
That's why the crowd pot goes at 10 and doesn't go at midnight.
Yeah, the staff, most of us participate anyways with
Yeah.
these things.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
we are working,
I'm
but
just-
So is that your motion?
My motion is to give an extra half day and January 2nd, the full day.
Well,
For the-
half day on the 24th.
Half day on the 24th of December, 2025. Take that as a full day and then.
That's your motion, because we already have the other, or that's your addendum.
It's the addendum to the motion for the new business.
Do I have a second on the addendum to add the half day? All in favor?
Wait, was
Aye.
that a
Aye.
half day
and a
the
day.
Yeah.
Right.
2 days, really.
It's the half day.
Half day in the day.
Yeah, because that's the motion, it's the 26th, we're
No,
basically.
no. That she already
I
said
mean,
they're
no,
after
no.
the day after they're off. The only
Correct,
thing we're
so-
adding is a half day on Christmas Eve. That's
That's
it.
correct.
To the motion.
To the motion.
To the motion.
To the
motion of
amended
extra
motion.
day.
That's right.
Yes.
The day is already on there. So
So
all in favor of giving the half day?
I just want to clarify what we're saying. We're saying
Okay.
that when this is all done, the town staff would have off the whole day of the 24th, obviously the whole day 25th, all of the
Which
26th.
they already have.
The first is already off, and add in the 20.
second.
The
The second.
The second.
Correct.
So
I,
this,
if that is good motion, I second it.
well, the only addendum we're doing now is the half day on Christmas Eve. Does
Okay.
everybody approve that?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, for the motion, to have the half day and the full day on the second. Is there a motion? The motion's out there. Is it
So-
seconded?
Yes, but I'm not second.
Yeah,
I mean,
second.
motion.
The
All in
twen-
favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Just your staff, not you, right? You'll be available Christmas morning.
I'm always available. Just
Okay.
text me,
Just wanna
call
make
me,
sure.
He's
email
doing all the
me.
gifts on Christmas. He's running around
yeah.
town.
Okay, so it was Thanksgiving, Christmas, and, oh,
No, no, no.
Thanksgiving, I
No,
didn't do. You already had
Thanksgiving-
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
every
you
day
already
off.
had.
so I heard someone say Christmas Eve
Yes.
Christmas Eve is now full day.
So the 24th
24th of December.
and January 2nd.
Yes.
Correct.
That is
Okay,
correct.
Got it. Sorry.
And the
fine.
26th.
Thank you.
He already, I
On
think
behalf
you're
of
right.
my
He already
staff,
had
thank
that,
you.
yeah.
That
Thank
means a
you.
lot.
To your staff. And yourself.
5-day weekends in a row.
All right, moving on. USPS collection box resolution.
Okay, so I hope that you saw, there's a lot of work that's gone into this. And I just want to thank Councilman Newman for bringing this to my attention. And some of you others have brought it, saying things to me as well. But Councilman Newman and I walked and actually, inspected, looked at many of these together. And then I went and talked to my staff. And so just to keep, for those who just, skim this, I'll just give you a little brief overview of how this got happened. So I tasked my staff to go to the post office and make a request that, according to their own standard, and it says that, we can make a request to ask them to repaint them, put stickers on them, or replace them altogether if they're not to the standard that their own post office service shows. So anyways, that happened and nothing happened. So I followed up to see if anything happened and nothing happened. So I went and downloaded the actual evaluation that they use and did the evaluation myself. And I walked and I showed you everything. I showed you pictures of what the collection boxes look like, did the assessment, and then wrote a letter and then took it to the postmaster. And that didn't go well. And I said, and she's kind of like, why are you doing this? But my response was, it's not so much why. I think it's more of like, this is my job. My job is to address issues that come before me, and we do it in a professional way, and we submit it, and we expect, a standard here in Cape Charles, and we want to see things happen. So anyways, the response was, nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to do anything. And I said, okay, well, I'm not going to stop. And I said, then I'm coming back. So the next thing, when I looked in the research, was a resolution. So now it went from my staff, came from me, and now it will come from you. And then this resolution says council is now asking staff to then go into the next level, which will be a regional postmaster. So I'll take the resolution, I'll take the same a letter with all the documentation and ask them to formally do their own inspection, but we're asking you to correct the findings that we have already discovered. So that's what I'm asking tonight, is for you to approve a resolution so that we can move forward in getting the collection boxes brought to the standard that they should be, or replaced.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we adopt the resolution 2025-1120 as presented in our staff report.
All right, so I move for adoption of resolution 2025-1120, a resolution requesting the United States Postal Service to repair or replace public blue collective boxes located within the town of Cape Charles, Virginia, as noticed, and forego the reading of the resolution. Is there any more discussion on this? All right, this is a roll call vote. Ashworth,
Yes.
Buckholz.
Yes.
Luda.
Yes.
Grossman.
Yes.
Holloway.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
All right, so the motion carries unanimously. Can't believe we need to do that, but it's crazy. Moving on, so we are bringing back these, so downtown restroom options.
Waste collection services, contract, except C.
Oh, I'm sorry. Waste collection services contract extension. My apologies, thank you.
All right.
Do this every year.
Yeah,
All right, I
Yeah.
found it, sorry. I still
Yeah.
have mine.
we don't have a choice.
So evidently this is standard.
Yes.
And there are, you know, according to, it's a 3% increase, and that's, I checked financially, we're budgeted for that, so we're okay for this. And that's what is before you, is a 3% increase. It's standard.
So my question is, with regards to the approval of this, is the contract extension and the fare increases there of 3% coupled, right?
Yes.
We're approving both.
Yes,
All right.
yeah.
All right, so I'll make a motion that,
And this is the second year of the contract, because we approved it last year.
Right.
Because we do this every other year.
That's correct, yeah.
all right, so I'll make a motion here that we approve the extension of the waste collection disposal service contract with Davis and approve the 3% increase in cost.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that motion carries unanimously as well.
Yeah.
Now on to D, the downtown restroom options.
As Cousin Eddie said.
Thank you.
All right, no peeking. Just hold it.
We're right for the bottom line.
Thank you.
You don't want it spicy.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so, I've been working on this for months and was ready to pull my hair out. I just want to say that. The reason why it's been so difficult is trying first to look at, do we purchase a kit or a modular unit or build our own? And the amount of work that goes into that is a lot. And on top of that, there's two components of that. You have a structure and then you have land. And so the land component has been very difficult to work with. And so though we have a silver bullet right now that's on a lease agreement for a long term, however, it's different. It's like starting all over when we build a permanent structure. And because this situation's we don't have it in control right now, it makes it very difficult for them to make a decision when they're trying to work through a lien and everything else. So it's not easy. And even approaching them is like, I know the questions you're gonna ask me is that, are we ready to work through that? Do we have a lease agreement for the land? And the answer is no. And I don't know how long that's gonna take. So in fact, I'm spinning my tires with a potential of something. So then I just take it off the table because I don't know. I mean, it would be different if we could have control of it or there was something to work with, but I don't have anything to work with. So, and it's not that it's their fault or our fault. It's just a very difficult situation. And we've had, we had some difficulties even working with the easement, the Keck wells. And so that's been very difficult. And we're almost there, by the way, with that one. I think I saw the documents today that they're in agreement. So we're really close to now everyone signing it. So, but back on this is the other property we have is the property right behind the library. So that is our own. So we could do it there. However, it's not the ideal location.
Terrible.
It's too far to the west, and it's already close to the beach bathrooms. So that really doesn't help us to the downtown section. So then we go back to really one other perspective, which is a lease agreement for a rental, long-term rental, which is, we were okay with that in the very beginning, but then when we started talking about it, we thought, well, maybe this would be different if we separate the visitor center and the bathrooms. Would this become more cost savings for us? And the answer is no, it's not. It's still going to be very expensive to build our own. but even then we're in hypothetical because we don't have the land to do it. So now we're back to a real option, which is a lease agreement. I had 3 options, but one just recently backed out, and that was why we pulled it from the very beginning, because I was waiting for that 3rd option. So, but what we have here is 2 really good options, and then you got several different types of options within these 2 options. Okay, so I wanted to at least preface that before we go into it. If you go to the first option, 11 Peach, option 1. So before I break into it, let's look on the page so we can remind ourselves what that looks like. So if you go to your page 3, it looks like this. This is the schematic kind of like site plan in a sense. What they're saying is on the far right, that's the small little addition. That's where the bathrooms would go. It's 297 square feet, and we would be able to put 4 bathrooms in that section, and they would create the entrance where it's a window, but they would make it an entrance with the ADA ramp right there where the window is in the front.
So they'd come through an empty building to the bathroom?
No, this whole section would not be ours. It
Right,
would
that's what I
just be
mean.
this. So
But
they would-
ADA would come through,
No,
No.
it would come through
Straight
this
to the
section.
sidewalk.
It says the window converts
says
to
ADA.
ADA.
Oh,
So sidewalk's here,
oh, I
Yes.
understand,
sidewalk's here.
yeah.
So that's what this model looks like, but they've looked at it, it's doable, they can do it. The other
In an
side,
18 by 16 space?
it's
Okay,
doable.
Okay.
5 by 5s.
okay.
Let's show enthusiasm with
Five,
this
five,
option.
5 by 5s is your
It's-
ADA size.
Yeah,
Oh, I know, but it's,
so it's gonna be 2
No hallway,
ADA bathrooms and 2 non-ADA bathrooms. So they would all be unisex bathrooms, so we can have 4. So I just want to show you the schematic, what this looks like. Even though, I mean, of course, we'd have a lot more drawings if you were to task me to move forward or other questions that may come up. So that's that one. And then I want to show you the other one before we go into the actual details. So if you look in the very last page, it's got pink on one side. This is the one on Strawberry, 7 Strawberry. And this is where the kayak rental building is.
Bettis building.
Yes.
He would section it, so the first towards the road would be roughly 1,000 square feet. It's a little less than that. And he would have 4 ADA restrooms and then like a lounge area. So it kind of could be a small little visitor center that's unmanned that we could put
Like a
TVs,
digital visitor center and stuff.
kiosks, brochures and things like that. So it's a great space. So
What's the, I see it, the 32 feet. What's the other measurement? Does anybody see it? Am I missing it? The width?
32,
By?
I have it.
It almost
So
looks,
it's 945 total square feet.
Yeah, I gave you
probably
the total
30.
square feet. So, okay, now go to your spreadsheet now. And this is where we'll walk through, I kind of ran the numbers to kind of show what it would, the whole in cost and everything.
Let me just ask, was there another one that maybe is the one that pulled out on Mason itself?
Yeah.
The other one was on Mason, it was, where the distillery is,
No,
right beside
no.
it.
No,
no,
the
the
Mermaid
Mermaid, the
Factory.
Mermaid place,
Across the street.
Or the other thing, the
Crossmore Center.
the thing in the back. What's that
Kind
one?
of unit on,
Yeah.
like the Mermaid Center, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the-
But that other one we talked about too, the behind the
Yeah.
candy store. I can't think of the name of that.
So there
Oh,
were
that's
two of them.
Snyder's now.
Oh, right,
There were
right.
2
Yeah.
storefronts that we would have to purchase and then build out. One sold and the other one just, it dropped. You know, like I just didn't follow up. I could follow up if you want me to. I just didn't follow up.
That would be a purchase requirement.
That's correct. It was 285-ish, somewhere around there, and then plus a build out.
Yes.
So,
285 to purchase plus
Build out.
the build out of another 250 puts it right in the ballpark with these, and then we own it, we don't pay rent.
Yeah, but,
We have to maintain it.
yeah.
yeah.
We have to maintain this either way.
But look, a build out for a building, it's not gonna be the build out you think it is, because since we're government, we get hosed. I'm telling you right now, that build out's gonna be way more than if you did it traditionally.
Didn't do it.
I'm telling
How
you.
long
Yeah.
would it take?
I mean, look, we're looking at 1,200 square feet bathroom over behind the parking lot for $1.2 million.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna get the old classic railroad.
If
just
we,
the
if we were,
amount
if we
of-
were managing it.
Yes, the amount of stuff that we have to
Yeah.
do versus the public, it's
Yeah,
it's gonna be way more than you think it is.
And both of these options, they would do it, not
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
That's what's attractive about both of these options.
That's the crazy thing about this.
The third option I was looking at was right beside this distillery. There's a place, but the owner backed out.
yeah.
So,
Or where the restaurant's going, or what?
The
No.
Todd Bricken building that
Yeah,
he
Todd's
was,
building.
yeah, he's trying to be creative of what could go in there, and so that's,
yeah, we
that
were
was an
gonna
option.
take just about 1,000 square feet off to the door on the left and make that just a bathroom hall, but he decided to back out.
Yeah, didn't want to lock into that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great thing that he did, because that would have been really something.
Yeah, I mean, we try to be as, broad as possible, looking at options,
Yeah.
but, so let me go through this. Option one is Peach Street, and then, so I'll go through, the difference between the two right there, just all, before going into all the details, is, the monthly rent is $34.50, okay? That includes a service agreement to repair any kind of, plumbing related things. They would take care of everything. This is Peach Street. The second option is not to do that. We would be responsible for all leaks and plumbing related issues.
Just a $300 reduction?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know, it's
there is
worth,
no option
it
to-
doesn't make sense to not do that. It's,
And I
there's
think
gonna be
the
something.
question would come for that, for me, is at what speed is that done? You know what I mean? Like, as
Yeah.
part of the agreement, that's I have a concern about
Or
that.
do we just go in and get reimbursed?
Yeah, I mean, our guys would still maintain the restrooms, but
Right.
when something went wrong, they would have an agreement to fix it,
Yeah,
So, quick question on that. So this 3,400 is just for this little square of 18 by 16, correct?
yes.
That's correct.
290
Everything else
It's
is
297
square feet,
That's wonderful.
yeah.
And so, and I broke it down to price per square feet, that's $11.60. It's pretty high for a commercial space. Doesn't include a lounge. It does have an ADA ramp. Landscaping would also be involved. They would do all of that. We wouldn't have to do any of the landscaping, cutting grass or putting bushes in. There's the maintenance contract that's built into that one. So if you look at your total investment, that's billed out with your rent. So the first year we would be spending $41,400, and if you project it all the way down to 10 years, we'd have $414 invested in the restrooms.
What
Yeah.
is their plan for the other side? I guess
Um,
I would wanna know,
Yeah,
are these bathrooms, are they gonna fix the entire building all
Yes.
at the same time so that
Yes.
people aren't kind of walking into one side looks nice and the other side still kind of looks a little derelict?
It'll be,
And-
it's gonna be a real estate office. They're
Yes.
gonna occupy it.
Yes.
and they're still going for tax credits, so they're still gonna have
Yes.
to go through that process?
Yes, and they have to maintain ownership of it for 5 years.
But it would be done simultaneous to
Yes.
these restrooms, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
And they would have it ready for they're basically saying we can have it ready for our season for next year.
And the bathroom part wouldn't have to go through for tax credits?
No.
The process,
Because
right?
that's a
'Cause it's a
renovation
renovation?
added later.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, 414,000. So you look at the total investment, it's a lot. However, in 10 years from now, the build out part is done. So if we did a lease agreement, it would be less than that. Because now it's going to be normal rent, and it would probably, and who knows in 10 years what rent's going to be like, but we would not be paying a build out with that, if that makes sense. Okay? So again, option 2 is the same exact thing, except it does not have the maintenance agreement. Okay? So that's why it's a little bit cheaper. However, that doesn't make sense. You would want that response.
Plus,
That guarantee.
you don't wanna put that, you don't wanna put that maintenance on the back of Public Works. It's already
Right.
stressed out.
Right. So then now let's look at 7 Strawberry Street, and I've got one option split up in 2, and then I have a whole second option which he's presented.
Before you even get into that, plus build-out costs, so where's that number represented in any of this?
What's
They're gonna pick it up.
Plus
They're-
build-out cost.
No, that is
Included
included.
in there.
It's included.
Is it?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
estimated 250,000 build out, and if you run the numbers, that's what they did too. They used 250,000.
But they're picking up that number.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and we're just amortizing
Yeah,
it,
but
and
it's
we're
just the
paying for
wording
it
is up
in
top.
10
It
years.
throws me for a loop.
Yeah.
Plus build out cost.
Yeah, I mean, we're paying for it. It's just spread out
In
in
the
10
rent,
years.
yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions for that? Okay, so the second now, the difference between option 1A and option 1D is really the build out cost. You know, he projected between 250,000 to 300,000. So I wanted to just show you, we would try to keep a budget. What, you know, if you say don't exceed that, keep it within budget, we would. But if he comes back and says, look what we can do for 300, and you be like, ooh, that's nice, we want to do that. Well, then that's what it would be. So I just wanted to show you what 50 more thousand would bring you if we decide to do that. But I chose to focus on the 250,000 build out because that I like keeping budgets. And so I think that's more realistic. It keeps apples to apples of what we're comparing for the other one as well. So their rent is $3,600. It does have a 10-year lease. It's a 3% monthly increase per year. It is based on 250,000. So there's 4 bathrooms and all 4 are ADA. It's significantly larger space. So you have almost 1,000 square feet. So when you look at the price per square feet, it's $3.80. That's really reasonable. I mean, if you think about, you know, going commercial spaces, we got the church for $1 per square feet. But remember, we're in a residential area, and there's not really any competition to have that for office space. So we did a really good job with that one for a commercial space. But in a commercial area, that's a great deal, $3.80. It does include a lounge. I put NA because there's no ramp needed. It's right at the sidewalk. And landscaping, there's none there. It's all concrete. Plumbing contract, no. I did ask about that because I said I want to compare apples to apples. He said, no, that's not what I do. That would be on the town.
But the question is, normally when you're renting from someone or leasing, they're responsible for like a major repair.
Yeah. And what he told me is that if it's a major thing with the building structure or something, it's on us. But if it's just in your thing, happen to do with wear and tear, it's on you.
But I'm not talking wear and tear.
No, I'm talking,
Like the main going in.
Yeah.
If it's not on the town property and it's in there, that's gotta be the landlord's
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.
The lease would have to be
I think
written
we'd need to
out.
We'd
clarify
have to
that,
clarify, yeah.
that piece, because I understand that we would take care of, regular maintenance or repairs, that type of thing. But if it's something like all of a sudden the sewer line is, not correct, then we shouldn't be,
I will
if we're
clarify.
paying, a lease.
He would cover that, that would be
Yeah.
in the contract,
Right.
but that's not what he's talking
Right.
about. He would definitely take care of that.
If
Just
he's
if your
talking about just
sloan
like the
valves
toilets
go.
breaking
Yeah.
down or something like
You're-
that,
yeah.
that's definitely what I'm.
Right. Just want to get that clarified.
Sure. So, again, the build out, it's very similar to the first build out, 43,200, and then we've invested in 10 years for 432,000. Okay, so what the difference in, if you look at the last one, 7-star option 2, is the rent would be $1,500 a month, but he would do the build out and expect us to reimburse as soon as build out's done, so that it would not be part of the lease.
So that's a big chunk of money up front. That's what I was getting at.
Yes.
Plus build out.
That's only this one though, option 2.
No.
They
Yeah.
All have
include
build out.
Yeah, these included.
that we're
all of them.
paying
Yeah,
what
but
is
no,
amortized over
but
10
Strawberry,
years,
yeah, I know, but
one is
Strawberry Street,
upfront.
yeah, but Strawberry Street's not coming out right off the top. The other ones are coming off the top.
No, just
No,
one of
no,
the
it's
Just the
options.
last
No, it's
option.
just the last option.
Option 2 of strawberries.
The other two strawberries included.
He just did it to where they just divided it by 10 years, and that's why it came up to the 30-some hundred of the 4,000.
But if we wanted to pay the big amount
It
up
is
front, we
worded
could.
Yeah. So we are paying the build out.
Yeah.
He just says, give me the money now.
One is upfront, and
Right,
one is
give it to me up front.
amortized.
Correct.
Yeah.
So for 250,000, it's not bad for build out. And then at the end of 10 years, we've only put 180,000 into it. And we could say, you know what, we want to do this again and our rent will be really cheap again because there's no more build out. Or we may say, town's needs have changed and we need a complex. We need to see something, or else technology changes and there's a whole different thing that comes out.
And we don't go to the bathroom anymore.
Technology.
AI.
The AI is going to
Yeah.
take control
We
of
won't
that.
need to go.
So all
We
this
won't
dead
need
space over
bathrooms.
there, what is over there where there can't be more bathrooms? Where there's just the one on this side.
I mean, if you want
If you
more
want, yeah.
bathrooms, we probably could ask to build more,
Well,
but
that's where you
I
go.
just tried to do 4 and 4. That was what you tasked.
Where are you
me
talking
with
about, on
last.
Peach Street?
Yeah,
No,
on
it's
Strawberry,
Strawberry.
Well, he wants, well, you mean in the front of it?
Yeah,
here,
Uh,
because
yeah.
there's
Well,
3 on this side. and
It
then
would be
there's
more
just one on this
build-out
side.
costs for more bathrooms.
Yeah.
It would be nice, I mean, we don't need all of that space, but it would be nice to have a digital visitor center and a rack card space
Yeah,
just
so if
that are
you look in the very
self-sufficient.
back, this is what his lounge.
But we don't
area
need all
looked
of
like. So you look in the very back of your page of the pink one, it shows you a lounge concept. So the bathroom, you know, the one that you were looking at, there would be one bathroom on this side and there are 3 bathrooms on this side of it. 1 bathroom over here and 3 over here.
I kind of like that idea, because I mean, someone could go in and watch a video about Cape Girardeau. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that would have, like, could sit down out of the heat, kind of a thing.
But this would be ours. This isn't gonna be the entrance to his.
It's not gonna be ours.
Okay. I mean, we're renting it. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's gonna be all Cape Charles.
Yes.
Correct.
It's $430,000 in the end.
He's just gonna retain the back, which he can enter
Yeah.
through his courtyard
His
attached
like
to the
garden courtyard.
hotel,
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, good.
You don't have a mini fridge there?
So is the 250,000 for the build out on the last one, is that kind of an upper limit? Or, you know, he's got for the other 2 options, it could be 250. it
Could be 300.
We don't know. I mean, it's the projected number that both of them have thought and came to me and said, we think we can do this for 250,000. They both had said that on separate times.
So on option 2, he's not saying, I'm gonna guarantee whatever we do is 250.
He's just saying.
He's just saying whatever it cost,
Yeah.
we could be a
If this
different
exceeds 250 and we want to do extra things, he's like, it could be up to 300, depending on what you really want.
And I can tell you for a fact, the sewage goes right down the center of that building, because I was with the builder that put it in. They've got a 4-inch line right there, so
That's good.
I'm surprised it's gonna cost 250 in my opinion.
Well, that's all I'm getting at. Could it be 175? You know, depending on,
I mean, the stuff is
When was the
really
last time
right
you
there.
heard
You have to break up the
construction
floor,
less than
but
was estimated?
Yeah,
well, that's what I want to back
So-
into. All of a sudden, this is now a fixed price of 250K.
No, and what you can, I mean, what I can do is go back and say, we want to know the exact cost.
Yeah, really.
and we put that wording in as it would be a reimbursement of the exact costs.
Yeah.
Yes,
As opposed
of course,
of-
Right,
of
but
course.
no more than 250.
I have
I know where the
concern,
fire
I like the idea of it being in a more centralized location to the commercial district.
they both are.
One of my biggest concerns though is that Strawberry Street is so dark. And
I think it's gonna open the door that we need to do that anyway,
we
right?
need to
Oh, I
get
see.
lights
Yeah.
down
It-
there.
Yeah.
And I'm uncomfortable with us having our bathroom for the town, public restroom, be down such a dark street.
Yeah.
So unless we're coupling this with a plan to light that street, which it's needed,
Yeah.
For sure.
And in particular, that side is an easier side to add the lights than the other side. I mean, they need it on the other side, but it's just a more complex thing, as we've looked at it over the years with Main Street. But it,
Looking
Yeah.
at that daily,
yeah,
the east side is lit up. There's
Yes.
no need for additional lighting than
Right.
what's on the east
245
side.
Mason side.
it's,
No,
that is
on
still
the other side?
the other side.
Yeah.
But on the 245 Mason and Betta side, it is dark, and
Yes.
it does need lighting.
yeah.
But that's only one side that really needs to
Well,
be.
maybe we ask Rick to come up with,
Right, so we would need to do some,
maybe we ask you to come up with
A plan for the
a
Mason
plan for
Avenue
the,
lights.
no, for the strawberry lights.
Yeah, and just add the strawberry to our Mason Avenue.
To add, because when we added those lights
needs to be done.
on Mason, we have that price point, and we have a company that we work with, and it wouldn't be hard to get those price points
We're
again.
talking about like street lights.
Just like like
Right?
we have on
Yeah,
Mason.
Not lighting trees, there's no trees
No.
there.
Right.
So we're talking about like street lights
Lights.
going down that
Yeah.
But
side
keep in mind,
of Strawberry.
yeah, but keep in mind it's all concrete, so that means a lot of breaking up and cutting.
Exactly, that's my
Right.
concern, is that if we
Yeah.
say, you know what, Strawberry looks like, and I feel very strongly we need to be moving this quickly.
Yeah,
Agreed.
If we decide that Strawberry Street is the direction we wanna go for the bathrooms, we've got to look at marrying this up with a lighting
Yeah.
plan. So in my mind, 250 is not the right number. It's more than that, because it's gonna cost us that much more on top of it
Right.
to
Right.
get that street lit.
well, in that situation, maybe we go with the option A or B with, that it's amortized over the time, and we put the money into the lights.
And I think
The
there's,
infrastructure grant from the county would definitely support those type of lights going in. That's like straight up, exactly. And I feel so excited about this option because it gets what we need on Strawberry. Those businesses were constantly trying to get people down there, and this will do that with lighting. I mean, you're very, very
I'm glad
bright.
you brought that up, because I had thought that too. In
Yeah.
fact, me and Bob had discussed this, where Peach Street, there has a normal
Yeah.
flow of traffic, Strawberry doesn't. So
Yeah.
by doing some upgrades like this, especially, it draws people to that
And
area.
it's just been needed, but I think Tara's point on the lighting is critical.
I would reach out to ANEC as well for the lighting to see
Yeah.
what they would offer.
Well, we did that, Paul, through trying to get the telephone poles out and lighting and stuff in. Bob worked with us on there. He could revisit it.
Okay.
They weren't real keen on it at that time, but maybe now if there's more concrete, there's a bathroom going, you know, the use of it, maybe then we could get something to work out.
Because all I'm saying is, you know, I look at the church Emmanuel's
Yeah.
bills from ANEC, and all of a sudden it says $10 down at the bottom. Call them up and they go, yeah, because you asked for a light to be put in 1988.
Yeah.
And you're still paying your $10,
Paying it.
but there is some way
It is.
perhaps to
Yeah.
achieve that.
Yes, and they have that grant program now through ANEC, but we got the electric car chargers through, that was through their grant program, so there could be some possibilities to tap into that money, that grant money.
anything big, putting in streetlights on Strawberry Street is gonna take time.
Yeah.
There are temporary things that could be done with some floodlights or whatever. One sort of, and I don't mean this as a personal thing, but, you know, right where the entrance to 245 Mason is, the lobby entrance, and then it would also be part of, above the Bettis building.
Right.
You know, you could put some floodlights, and then eventually we put up regular streetlights. But I think we could do some temporary stuff fairly quickly.
I like that idea if it means that it would be lit by the summer.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to
Not
be
for long term.
a permanent.
Permanent, I agree.
Would the Association of 245 Mason be able to put in, I wouldn't say spotlights, I would go with more LEDs.
There's
And then
already,
Venice could do the same thing.
But
there's
there's-
already a,
Power box.
motion sensitive light.
Yeah.
They could just have more attractive
So-
fixtures to those receptacles that would
Right.
Yeah.
provide some downlighting along that corridor.
Exactly.
And don't forget, I mean, I know Festive Fridays is around the corner and we're in that time of the year where it's depressing at 4:30, but
Most of the
in
time
the
it's-
summertime,
Yeah.
it's light until when you
Right.
need the bathroom to
Right.
close, probably,
Right,
so.
so we wouldn't want to hold off
Not
the
that I
process.
don't want lights there,
That's the
but,
key,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
great. I will, talk with the owner and get back with you by the
Yeah.
next
And yeah,
December
just
4th.
see if David would put outside lighting, down lighting on the outside of the building, because it's just basically, he's got it there. LEDs are not like what you call expensive to operate.
And Libby, on the 4th, we're gonna do that as a special meeting as well, to do a vote.
But are we still gonna explore both options? I don't wanna say not to keep both running.
Oh, yeah.
in
No, no, no,
tandem,
we're
so-
gonna
discuss
Yes.
both of them,
Okay.
absolutely.
This is just informational, so.
Got it.
All right, so
We don't
let me-
put that on that meeting,
Let
then
me
we'll
be
be
clear
on.
on the next expectation. We're gonna hear from the staff. They're gonna answer these particular questions, but I'm looking for a staff recommendation, and then we can take it from there.
Well, I was ready to give you one tonight, but I will
Well,
wait.
we'll wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the public.
All right, so now can I give an update on the temporary?
Absolutely,
Okay.
please do, that's what I was just gonna ask.
Yep. So the mayor and I have already talked about this, and I have called multiple times just to get an update on where we are, and they are not at all ready to have it shipped to us. So,
Cancel? Sorry, I'm jumping the gun. Can we cancel at this
well, we've
point?
already put in half of the funds. So that was the part, you gotta put in half to get it. So,
What was the turnaround?
if that's,
time?
if that's the direction of the council, I'll
Not
pursue
yet.
that.
I'm sorry, I just jumped the gun on that
Okay.
question. It came to my tongue. and
Okay.
I said the thing that I should have said.
So,
By surprise.
it's okay. I'll take direction. So they also do rentals, and I'm waiting to get a quote from them. But I did call Greg Gentry's contact, and they immediately gave me a a quote in order for us to go. It's a 3-stall, it's not ADA. That's the only one they have. I did ask for if they can give me a quote. How long would it take to get another one? I don't think we could get it before the first Friday in 2 weeks. But they do have one that's a 3-stall trailer that they could bring. And then I said, what would the cost be for the whole season? Or just to have something here that's a little bit upgraded, nice, than the Silver Bullet. We'd have the Silver Bullet, then we'd have another trailer. I know the mayor had asked maybe could we get multiple trailers. They're expensive to do the whole season rentals.
I wasn't looking to do the whole, you and I talked about that.
Yeah, I know. We were just kind of talking about it. But a 3-stall would be roughly about $4,000, $4,000 to $5,000 for the whole season until the end of December.
What about pump out, or is it be hardwired in?
No, they would be pumped.
Pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's-
don't have time to put in.
I know, but is that an extra fee?
Well, you just have to tell them which one you want.
4,000
No,
for a
it's
month?
that's part of the 4,000.
Yeah. it's
For a
part-
month?
No, the whole season. So for the November
not
to
right.
December.
Something not right.
That doesn't
So-
sound right.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
No, that's not,
Oh, you're
that's not
talking
right.
just for festive Fridays alone?
Yes,
Just
festive
festive
Fridays.
Fridays.
Wait,
That's
is this
not
for a
right.
trailer?
Low or
We're
high?
talking about- This is for a
Much lower
trailer
than it
that's
should
got,
be. It's
like,
much higher than that.
heating and stuff
Yes,
in it?
it's
Okay.
heated, it's
it-
nice
And it would be $4,000
for 5 weeks.
for 5 weeks. And it would
Staying
be
here
on-
permanently? I'm sorry.
Or is it just
No, no, no,
5
I
Fridays?
can't.
Yes.
Exactly.
It would be here the whole time.
And it would be here for the first festive Friday.
Yes.
That seems unusually low to me, knowing that, like, for events, they sometimes cost that for the event.
Yeah, but how many events
for
are
one.
happening in December on
Right,
tour?
I know, but five weeks at that price, I mean, heck, if that's the price, we need to jump on it. Because it normally would be like $20,000.
I thought about jumping on it as well because it's a good deal.
Well, in my
but-
opinion, that's in your purview to do that. 'cause
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, it
under-
is. It's like it's
under-
under 10 grand. I could do it.
It's under X amount, and you have more than enough authority.
Yeah,
to
I
go
just
and
wanted to
do
give you
that.
an update. If
Where would it go?
I would have to talk to Festive Friday people, talk to Karen and ask
Strawberry
them.
Street Plaza.
But I
No.
would jump all over it. and-
God, those people just about killed me.
Okay.
We can't,
Somewhere
That was
we can
humor.
See it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
we can't make a $4,000 or $5,000 contribution to the Arts Center to allow us them to
I
seriously
mean, what if
use
we
their
just took a price
restrooms.
on it?
Yeah,
Seriously,
Well, it's a
like,
nice-
They
what
have-
if
they
it
have-
goes
they have
next to the
problems.
riverside,
Septic
where that
issues.
parking lot is
Oh,
there.
do they?
Used
Yeah,
to
big
be
time.
where
Of course they do.
Distillery had the outside part.
Yeah.
There's that little, like, right there.
That's private property.
Where did you
Well,
say?
but they may be willing to let us put
But
it,
where did you say?
Where the old
Next-
distillery, the
Oh,
courtyard
yeah.
area?
Yeah.
you know,
There's somebody else trying to use that space that I talked to.
well, I
Who
don't
is
know,
it?
so I mean, that,
I don't know.
that
does-
seating space, but the
Does
parking lot.
Patrick
they
still
Yeah.
own
may
that,
let us
or
do that.
Yeah,
Charlton?
yeah,
Does Dave
yeah.
own that? I don't know who owns that.
I don't think Dave does anymore.
Can I just go back to the one that we bought,
Yeah.
bought, and
What was the delivery
understand
time?
when we can?
And when did they
we
say they were
expect
gonna,
it?
yeah,
Because it- honestly, if it arrives the day after one of these two places is gonna be finished, do we need it? Do we want it? I don't know. I'd rather us recoup half of our money back and not.
what was
spend
our
it.
agreement with
Well,
them as far
remember
as
that
timing?
when we first agreed to buy it, there was one available. By the time we got our act together, that one had sold, so they said, well, we'll honor the sale price and build you another one. I don't think they ever promised that it was gonna be done in time for Festive Friday.
What did they
That's
say?
correct.
What did they say delivery?
They said we'll try to shoot for December, but normally this is not until January.
Yeah, they never said it was gonna be
So what
ready.
did they
That's
say
correct.
when you followed up
So I
recently?
followed up and they're like, yeah, we're back ordered right now. Products from their manufacturers are all backed up. And so they're like, we'll probably get it mid-January. And I was like, that's really not acceptable. We had this done, in July or whatever. You've had plenty of time to get this done. So
Yeah.
I said, that's real. And they're like, well, we can talk to you. But I was like, that's not acceptable to us. We really wanted it for this. What can you do? And that's when they were scrambling and saying, well, let me get back with you. We do have rentals. We'll see what we can get.
Well, and you could say, we'll take
So,
5,000 off each month it's late.
yeah, but why don't we walk away? I mean, in January, do we need it? If
But are we
January-
gonna get our money back is
Well,
what
I
we're,
can ask. But let me also remind you of this.
What's the cancel
We
clause?
were always going to keep it.
We talked about that this could be used for
Yeah.
other things too, because for events,
Yeah.
for the beach, I mean, we're always
Yes.
having bathroom problems. So
Yeah, well, we
it's-
talked about even putting it at the north end until we get,
Even Central Park, we could,
Mhm, so
we
for
could, you know.
big
so
events.
It was one of those things where it was designed to do both, hold and connect.
yeah,
And so it was one of these things that we saw this as a great thing for what we could do. And if we wanted to sell it, it's in a market where people are always needing these things.
Yeah.
So we could turn around and sell it and get our money back out. This is a $100,000 unit. So this is a nice unit, and they honored the price of the previous
I
year's
think one of
model.
the things that would be good is that we're gonna have to rent, and this is what it's, we want that off of the price.
I could ask.
Like, at least that, right?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
At least get back what we're having to put in, which we hadn't
Yeah,
anticipated.
like,
7 months to build something?
just make sure 4,000 is the actual number.
Yes,
Yeah, I will. I mean, I'm still waiting on their quote too to come
Yeah.
back. So I've got Greg's quote.
Yeah.
And then we'll just
I
kind
mean,
of
we really
use
don't have
leverage.
time though, for the
No,
quotes.
no.
We need to,
Yeah,
because
we
we're
need
gonna
to
lose
jump
it
on
again. Someone's gonna come in and pick it up. So
Yeah.
I say, just go
Jump
with
on
Greg. Just
Got
go.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
2 weeks from now, that first festive Friday is the one that
It's the
really
big one.
matters,
Yes, it is.
You know,
100%.
yeah,
the other 3 are,
yeah.
Especially-
It's not a competitive bid situation. Just take
Jump
Greg's
on
and
it.
let's
Got
go.
it. I will jump on it tomorrow morning.
It
Now,
just
the
long as it's
first
4
one
grand
over,
for
the one
the
that
whole
we're
thing.
still waiting on, it is mobile, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Very mobile, so we need to make sure that the Sailfest team knows about that before they
Yeah.
start running.
Yeah.
So that they're able to use it.
Oh, that's a great.
One spot that might work is by the 11 Peach and Bailey, Chases, that lot right there.
Private property.
I know it's private property, but they have let us use it
I know the
before
owners.
through Festive Friday, and we've talked to the owners about that,
I know
so,
them too.
yeah, I mean, it's worth, that's a central location, it's got lighting,
Give him a couple bucks.
yeah.
Have your ice cream right
Did-
next to Chase's and go.
Yeah.
Did David say that with 7 Strawberry, it would also be ready for the season?
Yeah.
So long as we decide by when.
Yeah,
Oh, good point.
Did they say? I mean,
He would like for us to move sooner because he has submitted this a long time ago.
yeah,
And he has sent multiple emails of asking, have you guys made a decision? And I kept apologizing to him, no, we're not ready, I apologize, but it's coming before the council.
so do we want to try to commit to making that special meeting, like
Yeah,
you
we
said,
gotta-
Adam?
And make that decision.
And make a
then.
decision that night?
December 4th, is that
My
what we're
opinion, we
saying?
make a decision that night, one way or the other.
1,000%.
Okay, I got direction.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for getting
Thank
that
you for all your hard
together.
work.
Yeah,
Really.
you're welcome.
Because I know that's been a struggle. It's-
But this has been way better,
I don't-
going
I
through
don't
this
get
than
why
it
this
was
guy's
with the
been
hard,
taking so long to build.
hard ones.
No, that
Permanent
one's
ones.
out of our control.
Okay.
Well, I think someone's BSing.
All right, so request for financial support for Plain Air Cape Charles.
So I'll take the hit on this, guys. I did not understand the process, and so I apologize to you all for even putting it on the agenda. I know now that we do have a process, and this was a little urgent in a confusing manner because this didn't seem like it was a normal request, but I don't have the authority to, talk about it. I felt like this is something to bring to you guys. However, next time I won't bring a situation like that to you.
I think just historically, and there's a couple of us that can speak to it, in the 7 years that I've served and Andy's served more, we worked from the beginning when I got on to step away from nonprofits coming as part of a funding campaign from the town. And at that time, they really needed some resources because there weren't other resources for them to go to. But it was getting to the point where it was a lot, and it was inconsistent of who do we fund something just because we like it, or there was no process. And so we had asked the town to come up with a process and an application. It just never got off the bat in that way. So we backed away from doing one-off events, nonprofit operations, that kind of stuff, with the exception of Main Street because of the MOU agreement with Main Street. It's not really in that same category of those things. So when I saw it, I was alarmed just immediately, just because we've kind of walked away and we've backed ourselves to a good spot. Not in any way because of the event, because I love the idea. I think it's really, really good, and it, I do think that there could be wonderful ways that it could be other weekends. But I love the idea of kind of taking a part of that energy. I just would recommend that they go through some funding sources that exist, and we kind of guide them in that direction.
Yeah, from Northampton County's tourism grant or the Eastern Shore tourism grants, there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah. But a lot of
And they have to
organizations
hit
don't
our
know.
Sponsors too.
And sponsorship, sure,
But again, that goes back to the wrong weekend to do it because they're getting hit up
yeah.
by Sailfest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult season to do that. Now, I've been part of plein air painting
Yeah.
events and stuff, and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
They are. It's great. And it does seem that would be a great addition to a Sailfest. And I think that they should probably go back to the committee of the Sailfest to talk to you guys more, and then kind of go in that direction.
And if they couldn't pull it off, I've always thought, because we did this, gosh, way back when we first got the grants that Bob worked on, and my town grants and our town grants and some of those, when we first had the Harbor for the Arts big grant, which is how Concerts in the Park got started. I would love to see something like a plein air event combined with what the B&Bs used to do, the Art Rocks the Ends, like have different places through town that people kind of wander to and be a part of a bigger art festival.
The last two tall ships were 2011, 12?
12.
12, yeah. So, but, you know, that's their jam. I personally feel like we're going down the wrong path that we kind of worked our way to get out of.
Just curious, I know we have the grants application as part of our budgeting process, and we also have the December sort of readjustment. Do we do a grants application piece for the December readjustment of our budget?
No, the grants application piece should actually be removed. I mean, that's what we've been working toward, and it just didn't get all the way out yet. We've been weaning it kind of over the years. And I think we just need to come up with what, if we are going to keep a grants application, what is the criteria? That's what we've not come up with. So like, I don't know if you remember, there's some things that kind of got thrown in there at the end this year, and they were just where we used to be. But if it's the place where we want, you know, the firehouse or whomever to come through, then that's one thing. We just need to decide that.
The fire department's way different. That's called,
just as is Main Street.
That's an essential piece
Yeah.
of a body that we need.
So Tara, in answer to your question, it just got left in this year through some transitions with treasurer and things and manager. I think we need to look at that hard and say, is it something that we keep in at all? Because I just think it set people up for failure, and it doesn't feel good to do that. I'd rather send them to those resources that they could get that funding.
Yeah.
And that's just my take on it.
For me, it feels like Groundhog Day.
Yes, it does. It does.
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion that the town council not entertain this particular proposal for plein air Cape Charles.
Second.
Any other discussion? Not hearing any, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
I'll reach out.
All opposed?
Oh, sorry.
I'm opposed.
Yep. I will reach out to them with the resources, both resources, so they have those contact information. I've already talked to the infrastructure committee to see if they would accept something kind of mid-cycle. So I'm working on that. The tourism thing is definitely a go, like they just need to turn in that information and they could get a good amount as a sponsor.
Just to toss out there, I guess when you talk about taking, and I know this is totally an aside, but as you talk about taking on grant applications, I don't understand why we wouldn't support some of the arts. I think there's space for that, and I understand it becomes, you know, projects we like or dislike, but isn't that some of the things that we have in our comprehensive plan that we're gonna support the arts here? And so I guess I wanna kind of keep that on the back burner as we start talking about what these grant applications look like moving forward.
And maybe it's not that it's not that avenue of grants, that it's set up in a different manner.
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that, but if our strategic plan says X, then we need to equate funding money to support that. I think it was always the loosey-goosey feel of the others.
Libby?
We do, I apply for a VCA, Virginia
Yes,
Commission for the Arts grant every year.
Yes.
And that's a $4,500 match, dollar
Yes.
for dollar.
and we continue to do that, and
Yeah,
nobody said to take
we
that
do
away.
every year,
Yeah,
and it's specifically for Art Center.
yeah.
Yes.
One of the things that came
So
up,
that's not
Tara,
awesome.
in past discussions is that it was a privately owned business that runs that. So, you have to just create consistency in how you're funding, how the town is using taxpayer money to fund different organizations. Because then another business that, like Localish and all of those, they could come forth and want that art. But I think under our strategic plan and thinking, where do we, if we're saying that's important, how are we supporting it?
Yes, agreed.
Right.
That's what I want to make sure that we're addressing. Is
And maybe it's through sponsorship as opposed to grant funding.
Yes.
I don't know.
something creative
Yeah.
where we're not completely saying, you know what, because that doesn't sit right with me
Yeah.
to take that completely
Yeah.
out of part of our mission, because we talk about it as being part of our mission. So that's all I want to say about that.
Thank you. Town manager comments.
All right, just a couple things to keep you updated on. Training, so in the library department, Karen Crum has attended the Versa Training and Celebrate Native American Indigenous Voices seminar. Sharon Silvery attended the Versa Training Library Con live webinar, attended author panels and session on manga books and session on hosting community comic conferences. And so they've spent about 3.5 hours of continuous education credits. Finance, Adrian and Ryan attended the following conference: the Virginia Government Finance Officer Association. That was in Charlottesville, Virginia from November 5th to the 7th. Clerk Libby has attended the Virginia Association of Governments, Archives and Records Administrators Conference in October. Sessions related to the best practices of record retention and the importance of destroying records that have passed their retention and requirements. That's always important because we have boxes of stuff and how long should we keep them? And then sometimes we're always afraid, we got to keep this, and then it helps us keep on par with that.
Can you come to my house and tell me when I should get rid of some of those things? I need that kind of support.
We have paper orders in our town.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, right?
Yes.
So what is the deal with townships or anything else as far as putting it all on digitally and get rid of the paper?
The state of Virginia will not let us get rid of the paper company.
Okay.
Like the minutes, they have to be kept forever.
But I mean, it can't be put on a digital and put in like Iron Mountain or something like
Right
that?
now, no.
No, that's the name.
Yeah.
What do you think it's funny?
It's just such a perfect name. We were laughing.
That's
Yeah.
what, isn't that the federal government?
No, I used Iron Mountain
Yeah.
for all mine. And that was 18 years ago.
Oh my God, that's great.
So just to highlight another thing, Libby was also reelected to the VAGARA Executive Board as a member at large.
Yay, Libby.
It's not like you don't have a lot to do anyway.
I know. She's a big dog. Police, all officers completed CAD training, which was the computer-aided dispatch. Sergeant Diaz completed gang conference in Virginia Beach in California. Sergeant Lewis completed radio instructor training, and all officers completed annual firearms qualifications. Officer Brown completed the BOLA RAP training, and Chief completed elections and polling site safety training. So good job on that one. I've done some training myself, so I was going to share
Thank
my
God.
training. Finally, right? I did the emergency management disaster recovery training with the Virginia Rural Water Association. That was this week, and it was very eye-opening. And we're going to work on a plan, and he's going to help me with the plan, the instructor. So I thought that was great. We're not saying that we're going to go against the county by any means, but I just think that we should be more proactive in our community of what we should do, what's our contacts, and just be prepared. So another one, I've done accountability for supervisors, and that was a Versa training. Appropriate workplace behavior, handling conflict, that was another Versa training. Safety using AI That's a requirement that we're making all of our staff do. And the other, there's 3 of them that we're making everyone do. Safety use, I did that one. Avoiding ransomware and malware attacks. Since we're getting hit, pretty frequently through our planning department, I've done that one. And then avoiding phishing attempts, I've done that one too. But we're requiring all of our staff to do that.
Using the wrong lure.
Yeah. And then I've also done supervisor training through the ICMA. We actually did a department head training today. Of all of our department heads did that through the ICMA. And it was great. And we had discussion about
What's
creating
ICMA?
International City County Managers Association.
Right.
So they have great training opportunities. Me and Katie both are part of that association. And we discussed, culture and values as a team. And we're going to start doing regular trainings with our supervisors and department heads. So that's that. As far as the Mason Avenue upgrade project bid, so Bob has been working on that, and he is currently going to be sending he's been working with the contractor that won the bid last time, but because it's changed so much, I think I've said this to you before, we're going to launch that in December. So the new revised bid will go out in December. But he's got a plan, and this is the plan, but for the second time, we'll talk about it next time. And that's all I have.
And I know we talked about it just for the benefit of the council. I guess you've all saw the harbor where everything started and now stopped. When is that bid going to be back out for someone to pick that project back up?
I don't know the date of when that's going. I know he put it back out. I don't know.
Why did it start and stop?
He went bankrupt.
Yeah.
How much do we lose?
We didn't.
Nothing.
We haven't paid a penny.
They're not going to bill us for any of their demolition
Well, they
expense.
can't now. They wouldn't go to them.
Yeah. But they told us that they weren't going to. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But the new bids are going to be without the demolition now, so it is going to be money in our.
And then we received 4 bids, proposals for the affordable housing development property that we have. So we have a committee, and Paul's on the committee. And
When
we're
will
gonna
we get
be,
an update on that?
Probably on the 4th.
Okay,
So,
that would be great.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should be able to have something.
Just
to give an
kind of
update
a
on.
general
Yeah.
update,
And I'll probably even get Paul to do
It's
that.
gonna have to be general because we
Yeah.
have the subcommittee meeting on the 5th,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
right? So,
We've
it's gotta be high
discussed-
level.
We've had one meeting, and that was really to kind of decide on the criteria, the questions that we were grading them on. And then that's going to go back out to them to review the proposals. So that's as far as we've got.
Well, maybe we just do it on the regular meeting
Yeah,
in
so we just
December.
move it to the.
Well, all I'm saying is we got a process because
Yeah.
on the 5th, we'll come back together. We won't have finished our criteria sheets. We'll have questions of
Yeah,
each,
So we'll wait.
so you've
Yeah.
got
I
a
think we
couple
wait.
iterations.
Okay.
Two broader strokes.
So I have.
All right. Thank you so much. Council members, any comments this evening?
I just want to thank Bob, and the Civic League members.
Yes.
No, for all their help with that stump project. I mean, it's amazing how much logistical work has to go into something that
Yes.
seemingly is so simple, coordinating with the town and VDOT and all the
residents,
parties involved. But we took out 64 eyesores and improved upon an accessibility issue on our sidewalks in front of the distillery building and did it well under the amount that we had budgeted. I want to thank you all for making that a priority that we threw funds at, and we're looking forward to starting the next phase of that, which will involve some actual planting, but
Question on that. So we're under budget. Can we allocate more back to the plantings? You know what I mean? It's still gonna be within budget if you look.
Yeah, I
at
don't know if it was stub.
I don't think it was-
just.
it was all in one
yeah, I don't know if
lump
we
sum.
put 30 or 40 to this whole thing, or if it was
No, it was the
divided.
whole thing. It was
Yeah.
no stump centuries. We don't
So you
have
can
to
use it.
allocate.
So
I mean,
you have more money, you have more money for trees.
Honestly, I mean, I don't even know if we have enough tree applications to use up all the planning money that we have allocated either. I mean, again, we just need more outreach and people being aware of the fact that we're offering this as a town, but
How many
So
more-
I
how
have
many
another
stumps are
thought
left?
too.
How many stumps are left, Dumpy?
I wonder if we
what's
could.
that?
How many stumps are left?
We've gotten more than we actually, they did a few
62.
extras, but we got rid of 64, and I mean, I
Yeah.
know we like to joke about me being the
Stump guy.
the stump guy, but it is, so much.
Very rewarding.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
very
good for
rewarding.
you. Good job.
And it's not just those, it's, Rick has helped me with just so many little things that you wouldn't even really, you're not gonna drive into town and be like, yeah, you look at, oh, did you see the new clock? That's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't look at,
Yeah.
did you notice they took out those 6
Right.
poles that have been sideways for 25 years over
Yeah.
there that, from a sign that hasn't been used in decades?
Right.
And all those little things over time, and, the mailboxes will be a part of that.
Yeah.
And we have to play our part as a town too. I mean, there's a part of me that feels a little hypocritical telling the post office to paint their boxes when their
Right.
box is in front of this building, which
Right.
needs an equal, if not greater measure of attention itself. But getting the pieces moving, I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from Rick, and the fact that there is a beautification committee as a part of the Civic League that is just constantly trying to say, all right, what's next? And then we'll put boots on the ground and we'll try to do it. And, little by little, you make changes that make a difference. So anyway, I wanted to say that.
So I just had a thought too. Bob and I have just done so much assessment about the Mason Avenue electric, upgrades that we're gonna do. And what we've noticed is we're gonna have to remove some trees on Mason Avenue. Some of these really big trees, because it's really in the way of where we're gonna have the boring boring underneath to put the appropriate wiring back in. It's just, it needs to be corrected. If we have extra money, we could be replanting trees in the same area. But
The right
we're gonna-
trees.
We need to put trees back in,
That's the
but we're gonna
problem.
have to take out some trees. I'm just gonna say it's,
Well, and that's been, I mentioned it, I think, to you, but since Main Street started, the assessment that they've gotten through the state of Virginia on that has happened, and knowing that it needs to happen. Because just, people, those trees were planted when nobody really knew where the town would grow and go.
Yeah.
And so when those removals, it's coming up with the right tree.
Right.
And one of the things, there was actually a little drawing that shows that you make a little notch out and you put the tree there. So it's not like blocking pathway of the sidewalk, and it doesn't take up
Yeah.
parking.
So,
Like, there's just
even
ways
another
to do
one-
that to,
another really weird, and Paul's showed it to me, but I saw it when I first got here, because Bob and I walked through it. It's right in front of the distillery.
Yep.
They took out that area, and then they enlarged their space, and there's literally like 2 to 3 feet of walking space in
Right.
dirt. And they're gonna put another tree right there.
Right.
And so it literally is gonna be like, where do you walk?
but how
You're
are they,
walking-
how are they getting approved to put a tree
They've
in?
already got approval.
In front of the distillery?
In front of this, it's already a done deal.
But
So I'm
look
like,
at-
we're gonna have to take that tree out
Yeah.
and just not put a tree in there, because we don't need a tree there.
Well, as part of the stump contract, that was all filled in for Festive Fridays with a crusher run that, you could play basketball on it.
Sure,
It's,
yeah.
it's accessible, it's walkable, you're not
Right.
tripping over the tree
Right.
roots that
In
used to
that
be
same
there
area?
in that same
Yeah.
area.
Oh,
But that
those
was
are all-
that was a temporary solution,
Right.
knowing that
Yeah.
hopefully we're gonna do
I mean, it's
bigger.
it's always been the choke point with
Yeah.
the big tree that was there before, so it's not really different. But from an accessibility perspective and
Yes.
everything, it's
But-
bad.
But look at next to the library on Pine Street, the footprint
Yeah.
where those enormous sycamores, which are probably some of the most beautiful
Right.
trees in town, are planted in a very small
Right.
square, and they've been able to. They don't have a root system that protrudes and buckles
Right.
sidewalks and pavement.
Yeah, it's just the right plant
It's
in the
just
right
the right
place.
plant in the right place with the right amount of space. So I mean, there's ways to think
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
your way through it
Yeah.
intelligently.
Yeah.
So, can I want to say one more thing fast?
Sure.
If you haven't been by the beach, nobody talks about the beach as it starts to get cold and blows, but this is when I believe the most this time of year that we need a beach plan. Because this is when the sand starts to basically leave the beach and enter the neighborhoods. And Ralph and his team did a great job of putting up some
Yeah, I saw
zigzag fencing right behind the pavilion on Randolph. And you can see instantly how the dunes basically start to form themselves and capture that sand. And if you go look at the amount of sand that's been deposited on that Randolph block of Bay and Randolph compared to
Need to do the
Monroe
same.
and Bay, or any of the streets south or north of Randolph where we really haven't done that. I mean, there are depressions before the sidewalk where the sand is just,
They need to
I
do
have
the same.
videos of just
Yeah.
like sandstorms
Yeah.
going down the
It looks like
street.
snow
They
going
need to
down
do
the
the
street.
same thing
We
they
need to
did
do the
now.
same, which I've mentioned to Rick, so I don't know if we have enough fencing for that, but
Buy
like,
it.
you know, in lieu of these grandiose plans that we all talk about, someday if we could fund it, those are things that we could do immediately to remediate a lot of the pain that makes these plans even necessary in the first place. So,
Sure.
So that was supposed to have been done a long time ago, before Ralph was even in.
Yeah, no, I know.
supposed
But
to
it's,
have been
it's,
that way all
it's
the
cool. I
time.
mean, it works. If you
Yeah.
put them in the right place, they do their job. I mean, that's what they're
Yeah.
made to do.
I want to repeat what Rick said with thanking town staff for all the work they've done in that move. Rick, can you find out why the lights and the trees were supposed to go on when we switched time, right, when we moved the clocks? All of the lights on Mason Avenue should have been on since then, and some are on,
It's
some
just
are
a
not.
handful on.
Yeah, it's here and there. It's kind of
So,
sporadic.
can you find out why we don't have all of them on and get them on?
Yes.
And also, can we get a quote for doing some work to this building on the exterior? That's one thing, you know, like Clayton was saying, this building needs work, let's get it done. Let's at least make a plan to find out what would it take to get it scraped and painted.
I painted the doors, you know.
They're beautiful.
Well, I want to thank Clayton for doing
No,
that.
I didn't say that for that
I
reason.
mean,
And we
I
should
don't wanna
match
touch
the
them
new,
anymore.
you know, like, let's use that color.
yeah,
or
I
whatever.
can reach out and
Yeah.
get some quotes on that. Clayton, if you help me.
Sure.
Just scope on stuff like that. Yeah.
The areas around the Newman
Make sure you
Memorial,
get
the
the
entrance, the Newman
It's
entrance.
time where it's gonna go.
Hey, he can help you.
I have just a few things. I just want to make sure we don't lose the golf cart discussion as a work session. So somewhere in, January, just so that we get ahead of
Yeah, I
that.
wrote that down.
Okay, I saw you write
Yeah,
it
you
down,
did.
which is great. As well as the Strawberry Street lighting, and getting some bids out on that. And Bob should be able to actually
I have that
pretty
down.
easily do that. Congratulations on the Hootenanny. It was so great. What a beautiful day and a great community atmosphere. It was really, really exciting and good. You did a great job. Great job. I think everybody had a really good time. And then last, I just noticed it, and maybe it was in our report and I missed it. It's not ours to report, but is there a gate going up by the water
Yeah.
treatment
Yeah.
facility? Yeah,
American Water's putting up a
yeah,
gate, electric gate, I
yeah.
don't know.
That's good. It's a good safety addition. I just was
Mostly it's
curious.
to keep people from going in there knocking on the door to
Yeah.
complain about something.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine too.
So the police get to sit on the outside of
Yeah.
it, not on the inside now.
Yeah, that's it for me.
I have something, or I'm not sure if everyone knows, but earlier this week, the town lost a long-term resident in Father Michael Breslin, who passed on Tuesday morning.
Oh,
He had been ailing for a while. He
Oh.
was pastor, up until July, but he'd been a priest at the Catholic Church for 35 years. So it is
Oh.
sad, but his
oh,
yes, he was ailing, and so he is at
This is
peace
hard.
now. And his funeral is planned for after Thanksgiving, but it'll include the bishop of the Richmond Diocese, so it'll be a
course.
big deal.
yeah. So, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm so sorry to hear that, but I know that his body's at peace and wonderful. But I know it's a big loss for the Catholic Church family and for the Cape Charles family.
Absolutely.
It really
He
is.
married Illinois,
Yeah.
So it's very sad, but it's,
yeah.
he is at peace now.
Oh my goodness, I hadn't heard that.
Nothing?
What?
All right, moving on. So some announcements. November 26th, town office is closed at noon for Thanksgiving holiday. Also will be closed the 27th and 28th. December 4th is going to be our work session and now a special meeting. And on December 6th, annual golf cart parade and grand illumination of Central Park.
Buckle up.
And the other one before that is the 28th. It will be the first Festive Friday. So
Yes.
it's not on here as my
Can you
announcements.
turn it over on the other page?
All right, but anyway, that's it. If there's nothing else, can I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.